Welcome back to the Gotham Sports Machine. I'm your host, Jack Healey, joined by my co-host, Mark Healey. Today we're celebrating a very, very special episode. The New York Knicks are NBA champions. First time in 53 years. I still just can't even believe it. It's so just, it's amazing.
It really is, Jack. I mean, you weren't around for the run in '94, the run in '99, um, for all the Ewing, Jordan, and all those wars. Uh, it's unbelievable. I mean, you had a lot more confidence in this team getting to the finals. I think we both were confident by the time the team got to the finals. I started to really join in your confidence that this team could get it done. And it really is a remarkable run. It's still surreal to me. Like, I still can't believe that they won the championship. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, especially in the fashion that they won it. This is one of the most dominant runs ever in the history of basketball. Like, this team. They not only are an all-time great team, but like this is one of the like most influential and you can't say influential yet, but like as far as like impact to like society and like just the world right now. I mean, this Knicks championship is just this city exploded. They're still celebrating. It's gonna take
Yep.
like another week to recover. I mean. The actual team itself, from Brunson all the way down to the bench guys, you just love this team.
Yeah.
Any, it's so easy to root for them. They're so connected, and they play for each other. And once they won, you just see how they all embraced each other and like just grabbing each other, hugging each other. Even the former Knicks getting on the court and how emotional they got. Like you just see how much this meant to everybody in that organization.
Yeah. And, I think, you said it before. You said it's so impactful. I think that maybe, you know, it could be one of those things. Excuse me, getting all choked up. I think it could be one of those things that's transformative, maybe for some other teams in the NBA, because this team was not built with draft picks. This team was not built with, I mean, look, obviously Brunson's a star, but this team was not built on star power. It's not a super team by any stretch of the imagination. All very good to great players.
It's become a super team because of how,
Right. But
but yeah.
but it wasn't Jalen Brunson, dictating to the front office, I'll come back if you get this guy, that guy, this guy. Now, it turned out that they wound up getting, a couple of his former Villanova teammates, but neither of those guys, and I know it took a lot of picks to get Bridges from the Nets, but we're not talking Kevin Durant. We're not talking like they went out and got these superstars to put together with Jalen Brunson. They got really good all-star players, but they gave up a lot to get those guys. It wasn't like this vanity project for Jalen Brunson. So, maybe teams think about putting together squads that reflect more of that connected teamwork type thing rather than just going out and try to, collect, three great players and put them on one team. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but it's more so that more teams I think are just gonna be like, why not us? Like I don't think it's gonna
Right.
change too many. Like I think the big market teams have always been like very like we don't really care about our draft picks. Like if you're winning, you don't care about draft picks. You just don't. Like the first team to really just like hoard an unreasonable amount of draft picks and actually work was the Thunder because they
Right.
actually made good picks, and with those picks, they acquired players to make their team better.
Yep. But it took
But
them a long time to get there, though. It took them,
yeah,
a long time to get there because
and
they
then
had to
this,
rebuild from the last team that, well, didn't they have a big lead that year? didn't they have a big lead that year at 20? I think it was
In
2012.
well, 2016, 2012. No, the Heat beat them up. They
No, no,
had
no. Didn't they have a lead though, and then they didn't they have a lead in a series
2016 and 2016.
when they played the
They were up.
Spurs?
Well,
No.
maybe no. The big series for that team was they were up 3-1
Right.
on Warriors
Oh, the
in
Warriors. Right.
2016.
Right.
And then they blew
Right.
that lead, and then the Warriors went up 3-1 on the Cavs and then blew that lead.
Right.
And then Durant went to the Warriors. And basketball was just like
Right.
almost dead for like 3, 4
Yeah.
years. Like
Right.
all you could watch was the finals, and the finals was still just Durant destroying the Cavs. So it was just like, and since then, teams have started. You saw the Celtics do it first. They stacked up tons of draft picks through the first trade when they got all of they fleeced the Nets twice. They got
Yes, they
all of
did.
them,
Yes, they
and
did.
they've built themselves another. But now even they are in a spot where who knows what the Celtics do? They're maybe chasing after Giannis, or maybe they just run it back. Like a lot of these teams are going to be asking themselves major questions. Do we just run it back with our team? Or should we make one of these big time splash moves that the Knicks were kind of making? Like they went 3 straight off seasons making a big time move. They traded for Anunoby, they traded for Towns, and then they traded for Bridges, and they also traded for Hart. Like all these guys were acquired, and
Right.
most of these guys were acquired with players and picks that we deemed so valuable, whether it was Barrett or Quickly, Randall, or first round picks that were that are going to be middle schoolers right now that we sent to the Nets that they're never going to spend wisely because they're a clown franchise.
Well, look,
All the credit goes to
look,
Leon, Rose, and Mike Brown.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable because and here's the thing. That's why, you know, like that's why when these trades are made, and the thing that cracks me up, look, I know that there were people who knew who OG Anunoby was when they made the deal. I hated it. If you remember, I hated it because I hated giving up. I hated giving up those two guys. I really enjoyed both of them, and I really didn't want to see them go. And I hated it at first, but then you and other people were like, no, 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 this guy OG, he's legit. He's a really good player, and he might not be the scorer that RJ Barrett, could potentially be, but he's a great defensive player and he can score. So this is a guy that's really going to help us. I said, all right, all right, all right. But I did not like it. And I quickly was so exciting as a player. I just felt like, the Knicks were I thought they were going to build with those guys, and they went out. And again, that's on me. I didn't know who OG was. When they made the Cat deal, though, that was something that to me, like I just didn't know how to. I was just getting used to kind of liking Julius Randle, and then they traded him. So obviously, that deal really worked out for the Knicks in a lot of different ways. I mean, Randall's a good player, and you have to give him some credit for coming to the Knicks when nobody wanted to come to the Knicks. The aforementioned Kevin Durant, didn't want to come. I posted something earlier today. I said, you remember when Kevin Durant didn't want to come? He didn't want to be the savior of the Knicks, and he didn't. The Knicks weren't cool. What's Kevin Durant saying now? And I tagged him in the post, so all his burners will come after me. But like that's why when trades are made, and whether I like them or I don't like them, it's always better to see how they play out. I mean, I know you liked the OG trade. I know you liked I know you liked the Cat trade too. So I mean, what do we know? I mean, at the end of the day, Leon Rose, he built quite the team.
Hiring Leon Rose was like a talked about questionable move.
No, a lot of people were like, "What? He's an agent. Well, what are you
Yeah.
doing?"
And then when we're hiring guys like Isaiah Thomas,
Oh,
Steve Mills, Like we had clown show after clown show after clown show running this team. And Phil Jackson,
Uh,
I mean, people know nothing. And I mean, different subject. I mean, you were talking about before. I kind of saw you tweeting about it before. Like the Mets when they hired Stearns, it was they were counting the rings,
yep,
and that guy is terrible. So
terrible, terrible.
you
It's
gotta
get
win.
worse. They're getting worse and worse. Well, we don't want to talk about the Mets
No,
today.
no, no. But like, wait, if you told me in 2021 or 2020, which is right around when the Mets and the Knicks started getting good,
Right.
if you told me that the Knicks would win and the Mets wouldn't, I'd tell you you're crazy.
Me too.
You are insane. We have Julius Randle leading our team, but the Mets had the core of Alonso, Nimmo, McNeil, Diaz, Lindor. We didn't have Soto yet, and I still would be more confident that that team would eventually get one.
Yeah.
Now,
Showalter won 100 games.
now the Mets are misery, and the Knicks are on top of the world,
Yep.
and they have their team locked in for another 3 years at least.
Yes.
So
Yes.
maybe they don't win another one, but they will be contenders for the next 2, 3 years.
It's going to be very interesting. And people have already talked about, what are they going to do this offseason? Look, if we've learned anything about Leon Rose, is that
We have no clue.
he's gonna do something. He's gonna do something. He's not gonna rest on his laurels. He's not gonna say, okay, we're gonna run it all back. I could see the Knicks doing something,
I think the
bringing in
starting,
I could see
yeah,
it.
the main core is going to stay the same, but the bench, I
Sure.
mean, the bench disappeared in those last 3, 4 games.
Right.
Like, I love Alvarado, I love Shamit, like I love these guys and McBride, but I think one of them's gone. Wait, maybe yeah, like we just
Well,
have
Shamit's going to be gone because he's going to get paid. They're already talking about that. That
they want to
somebody's
bring
going to
him
come in.
back, and if anyone's going to take a pay cut, it'll be him. I mean, we're one of the few teams that took a chance on him. He was our last roster spot this year. It's
No,
just,
look, I'm not saying I want them to make any deal. I'm not saying that. I'm
I
just saying
think, I think they will.
I have a feeling that Leon Rose is not going to rest on his laurels and say, they won a championship, right? And they don't get to they don't get to the finals without the bench and the way those guys played. But at the end of the day, is it about winning one championship or is it about
Mhm.
winning multiple championships? So I have a feeling Leon Rose may have a major move
I
or
don't
at
know. I don't
least
think it should be a major move, but they have 3 draft picks this year, and they have too many talented players that didn't even play in this series.
right.
So they're gonna do something.
I still think they're going to be in play for Giannis. Call
No.
me crazy.
Yeah, you are crazy. It's not happening.
All right.
Not even a question. You're
Okay, we'll see.
gonna trade Bridges or Anunoby after this? You're not
No, I'm
getting
not. Well, we don't know what the deal's going to
you're
be. We
not
don't know
getting
what the
you are
deal's
not
going to
getting
be. We
you don't
don't
know
know
what the
what the
deal for
deal's
a
going to be.
Hall of Fame superstar in his prime is gonna be.
I
Get
don't
out of
know.
here, Mark Healey.
We'll see.
There is no will see. You have to trade Towns, Bridges, or Anunoby to get Giannis. You have to. There's no question. They don't have the draft capital to
Let's put it this way,
it's
Jack.
not happening. Giannis is going to Miami or he's going to LA and he could go have fun there.
Well,
We don't want him.
maybe it's
We want to
Giannis,
buy
maybe it's
bridges.
some look, maybe it's Giannis, maybe it's something else. But here's the thing. I have likened this Knicks team to the '86 Mets. And one of the biggest failures of the '86 Mets after they won was that offseason, they had an opportunity to really do some things and they didn't, and when they went to the World Series in 2000 and they lost to the Yankees and they had a chance to get A-Rod, they didn't get it done. And again, I don't know if A-Rod would have made them win in 2001 or 2002, but A-Rod and Mike Piazza together would have been pretty awesome. I'm just saying that I don't think Leon Rose is going to just run it back. I feel like he has a move or two in him, maybe a major move. We'll see. That's all I'm going to say. What do I know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this team is they won 13 games in a row. They have the highest point differential in NBA history. They
Right.
won 9 straight road games. You're not gonna touch that core. You are not touching that chemistry, and you're gonna piss off Brunson after he took $100 million pay cut. It's not gonna happen.
I'm just
He's on the road.
saying.
And he's
I'm
also
just saying.
the guy's godfather. If anyone has could actually like you were saying, oh, Brunson hasn't asked for this and that. We have no clue. He's just not public about it. I
You're
mean, he
right.
really has a close relationship with
You're
this guy.
right. You're
We got
right.
fined for tampering because of how we got Brunson. So like,
Exactly. Which was a joke, but
it was a joke, but I mean, who cares? What it was like, oh, $1 million
look, I'm
dollar.
not saying I want them to do it. I'm just saying that there's a possibility that
And I'm
they
saying that
could,
it's
they
not.
could make a move. Okay.
They can make a
Well,
move, not a major move.
I would like to.
One of
I would
these,
like to see them get another physical force off the bench. A physical, maybe a physical guard, like a
yeah, I
point
think
guard.
that's what I think I think Alvarado's like, I like him, but I've always said I think they need a bigger, more physical defensive point guard behind Brunson. It just doesn't really make sense to have two small guards.
Right.
And that's like the whole weakness of your defense is having the small guard up there.
Right.
Almost every team in the NBA runs like a 6'3", 6'4" guard, like even off
And,
their bench. So it's like it
right.
just
And they're going to have to figure out what to do with Mitch. They're going to bring back Mitch.
they're gonna bring back Mitch. I think it's more the guards that they're gonna have to figure out
All
because
right.
they were playing so streaky. Like Shamit was really the only guy that was kind of consistently showing up, and even he's like, I love him, but like he's like like a skinnier guy, and he was kind of getting bodied and bullied
Right.
in the Spurs series. But we won, so I mean, will they really be looking into like little stuff like that as much as I am, or they're just gonna be like, let's just let's just run it back. I mean, they could
I mean,
just
it's possible.
because
Look,
the
anything's
only guys they have
possible.
to pay is Shamit and Mitch, and both of them would take team-friendly deals to come
I
back.
hope so. I certainly hope so. I want those guys back. There's nobody on the team right now that I want to get rid of. I mean, they just won a championship.
Which is
I'm just
hilarious because you go back to the deadline or you go back to that 2-9 stretch in January. Everybody was calling for Towns. Everybody's calling for
not
Bridges.
us, not us.
I will say there was a time or two where I was like, maybe like the Giannis, maybe they should like kind of think about the Giannis trade.
Well,
But then it's just like
sure, but again,
he was hurt.
neither of us, I think, consistently, whether it was on this show or not, were one of those guys, the Knicks aren't going to be good this year because they lost to Detroit, or they had a couple of stretches where they didn't play well during the regular season. I certainly wasn't. To me, the regular season is about seeding. That's it. You hope you get the two or the three, hopefully the four, so you get some home court possibilities in the playoffs. But other than that, it's about getting healthy. It's about staying healthy, and they did.
And it's
They
also about
stayed
learning. I mean,
healthy.
they had a new coach. They had to learn their new coach, and there were stretches where it's like,
Exactly.
what the
Right.
hell is this guy doing? We looked
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, I
But
remember you saying that, too. I remember you saying that. I didn't like the hire. I'll be straight up about it. I wanted Quinn Snyder. I wanted Billy Donovan, and there was a bunch of guys I would rather have had than Mike Brown. And so what do I know? I mean, you liked the hire. You were like, okay, let's give him a shot.
but I was also calling for his head after game two.
Exactly.
There were just two. It was like there was a disconnect between him, Cat, and Brunson.
In
And
the
then after
beginning, yeah.
Brunson's dad
Right.
yelled at him, and whatever happened after that second loss, they came to work the next day. They said, let's give Towns the ball. Let's let him rock. Let's get the little pressure off of Brunson. And they transformed into one of the best teams we've ever seen.
Yep.
I mean, with Towns as the offensive engine, they were unstoppable. Philly looked lost. Atlanta looked lost once we made that adjustment. Cleveland They were done after game one. They gave up. And the Spurs, they were the first team to actually make us go back to how we were playing originally,
Right,
with Brunson kind of dribbling the ball
right.
80% of the game. And it took a toll. I mean, this was the worst offensive series we've had. Like every game, it was like 100, 100, 100 instead of 120s, 130s. And there were games Cat disappeared where he was getting a ridiculous whistle, just blowing two fouls in a minute, taking him off the court the whole game. They really weren't doing him any favors, but the first two games of the series, he was dominant. And it's almost like they were like, oh, we can't allow this.
Well, that's the thing.
Maybe
Well,
call it the
but
silver.
that's the thing. That's the thing. And I posted this yesterday. The NBA, look, you can tell me whatever you want. Oh, we're conspiracy theorists, whatever. The NBA wanted this to be the coming out party, a coronation for its newest, superstar, its newest face of the league, and so that's the way the whole series was officiated. Wemby he got away with 1,000 things, and look, you know, I didn't really have an opinion about him until the finals. I really didn't. But this guy, I know he's a kid. I know he's got a lot to learn, and hopefully he does learn. There's some great people in the San Antonio Spurs organization that can hopefully, get in this guy's head. But he came out looking like more of a villain than he did a hero or a king. So, the Knicks had to overcome all of that. They had to overcome the Spurs. They had to overcome the referees, and they had to overcome the NBA and the media and everybody doubting them or trying to downplay their run. Oh yeah, easiest run ever to the and they're still doing it. All these idiots out there, Boston fans, people from the Spurs, like Spurs fans. Oh, we statistically. I mean, it was like I forget who said it. I don't want to give out the wrong credit, but maybe it was Boomer Esiason that said it the other day on WFAN. He said that the Knicks were so good that they got every coach to say something stupid after they lost. You know, with I don't think Quinn Snyder said anything stupid, but the whole analytically we're ahead 3-2.
No, he said something stupid. I remember he said
He
something
did
stupid.
he? I don't remember. I don't remember. But it was just funny. I was like, I just, I think they had to overcome a lot, not just even winning the games. And that's even more impressive what the Knicks have done here. It's incredibly impressive what they've done.
Yeah, as far as Wembenyama, I think people are crying way too much.
Ugh,
One, we won.
right.
What are we crying for? Two,
Well, it was during, I mean, come on.
two, you old people are all, oh, we want basketball to be more physical. We want basketball to be more physical. This guy starts playing 90s basketball. It's it's
No, he was
hard.
dirty. He's a dirty player. He's dirty.
If you watched, you did watch 80s,
He
90s
wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing
every
that against Cat.
other.
He wasn't doing that against guys his own size. He was doing it against Brunson. He's a
The
bully.
last technical he got, he elbowed Cat in the face. He was elbowing everybody. He elbowed a Nas Reed, who's like 300 pounds in the face. He is a young player who is 7'5", and he's a string bean, so he's just gonna get smacked around all game, and he's immature. He's a young kid who's gotten thrown the brightest spotlight of all time. LeBron didn't have social media. Like it was just beginning. Jordan didn't have social media. It was just the news, and they did not cover players like this. Wembanyama every single thing he does is blown out of proportion. So the fact that yes, there were some dirty plays. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he should be allowed to elbow Brunson in the face and throw him to the floor, but he should be called on it 100%. That's the
Right.
only problem with this
But they
series
didn't.
is that they weren't blowing the whistle. Is that his fault? If
Yeah.
you if I go into a game and they're letting me do whatever I want, am I just gonna not do it? The whole point is to win the game, and he's coming from the Euro leagues, which is 10 times more physical than the NBA. They beat the hell out of each other over there. And now, he gets pissed off. He's a kid. He gets pissed off. And if you ever played in an actual basketball game, whether it's pickup, whether it's organized, someone starts smacking you around, you're gonna respond. And especially
Yeah,
if it's all
yeah,
game, you're gonna respond.
yeah. I've played a few games like that, Jack, in my life.
So for people to be like, oh my God, how could he do it? Like he's like
Well, I
standing.
didn't do that. I just got pissed and called a whistle. Enough with this guy already.
I mean, if it was
I can't
in,
believe you're defending the guy.
I, I'm
It's a bad job. It's a bad job.
it's a bad job how people are just cruise. Like we need a villain in the NBA. The best things in the NBA is
Yeah, but
hero.
they didn't want that. They didn't want him to be a villain. They wanted him to be the golden boy.
He doesn't care. He has never.
You're right.
And this the biggest Mark Healey thing. You hate when players are all buddy buddy when they're on the other
I
team
do.
and he is the exact opposite of that. He doesn't work out with other players during the offseason. He isn't hugging and shaking hands.
Because nobody likes him.
But he came into the league and he didn't like anybody else. He is
Well,
Spurs, 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 and
there's a
nobody
difference
else.
with there's a difference with how Kobe was, how
No,
Jordan
there's not.
was, how Larry Bird was, how Magic Johnson was.
No, it's
You know,
not.
the old guys.
Larry Bird hated other teams. He didn't shake hands after the
Right,
game.
right. I
And
look.
he was Larry Bird is one of the dirtiest players ever. Go watch Larry Bird. Larry Bird would maul guys and talk the most absolute trash. Like we're
Okay,
acting like
you're
all these
right. They're the
players
same.
are
You're right. It's the same thing.
these
You're right.
nice players.
Yeah,
And the
you're
thing is,
right.
they got away with it back in the day. No, everything is a whistle now. Everything is a whistle. You won't see if a fight breaks out in a game, it's like, oh my God, and everybody gets thrown out. There was at least 4 fights a game back in the day. And now, like, people don't want that. You don't want to see these teams get up in each other's faces, start pushing each other around, and like actually let it happen. That's the best part of sports.
I
And
don't
now
want
it's
to see fights. I don't want to see fights because they can't fight. At least in hockey, the guys can fight.
yeah, they want
Basketball
skates
fights are a
and
joke. Baseball fights are a joke. Guys in hockey, they drop the gloves and they can fight. They actually train how to fight.
and they're on skates. Those aren't, some of them are like
You're gonna get a
fucking,
Wemby jersey next? You're gonna wear that on the show next time?
I don't wear a Wemby jersey, but I'm not going to be sitting around a week after. Oh my God, I can't believe he
I'm
scored.
not.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
not doing that. I just said it's ironic that the NBA wanted this to be a coming out party, but the Knicks flipped the script, which is beautiful. I love it. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, there was definitely a swayed whistle towards him, but to act like he's just like this, act like he's like Draymond, and even Draymond, like we need stuff like this in the sport. We need physicality in the sport. And then the second anybody sees it, they're crying about it.
I don't
And then
like the
or
dirty
they'll go
play.
watch a
I don't.
game
I
and they'll
don't.
be like, "Oh, the NBA's so soft. They're blowing the whistle on everything." And then there's physicality, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I
Hey,
can't believe they did this.
physicality is the
Put him in jail.
physicality is fine. Call it both ways, but they didn't. So when you don't call it both ways, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to defend Wemby? No, I'm not going to do that.
You just win and you take your win. See you later, French boy. He's gonna do all the crying himself.
Well, I'm gonna love to see how he responds. Next year. How if
I say,
if
I think
he like look, he'll come back. Maybe he's nastier. Maybe he works out this offseason with Ben Wallace.
he's already
And
put
one of
on
those
weight.
lunatics and learns how to just be like, complete animal. Maybe he puts on,
Or
25. But that's what
the
Shaq said.
real, the
Shaq
real.
said he
If
wants him to
he
put on weight.
if he was playing too much like a guard this series, he gets himself in the paint. I mean, forget about it.
We'll see.
He
Maybe we
but
get a maybe we get a rematch next year.
when he was who knows? And when he was taking it to the rack, we couldn't stop him. But then
Yep.
he kept taking jump shot after jump shot. Like, you could take those all day.
Well,
He's a
he's
great
winded. He
but
was winded. He was so busy getting in our heads that, he couldn't play more than, 35 minutes. 22
players
years old and he's tired.
Well, I mean, we talked about it before the series. They weren't playing him
You're
35
right.
minutes in the
You
last
did.
series.
You called it out. Yeah.
They didn't condition him right at all. Especially for
Nope.
a 7'6" guy. Like you can't just be like, oh, we're gonna play you 25 minutes a game until the playoffs and then start easing your minutes up as the series gets harder. That just makes no sense.
No. Nope. Yeah. The Spurs did not.
They didn't do themselves any favors.
No,
The
they didn't.
coach,
That's what I was going to
coach is a
say.
moron.
Was it Mitch Johnson that's the Spurs coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
I
not.
never
He,
liked that
he
guy.
did not put on a clinic in the finals. He definitely did not.
If anything, he put his job in jeopardy. And if their top assistant did get hired by the Magic, I think he would have been gone.
Yeah, oh, possible, possible. I tell you who I liked on the Spurs, and that was the kid. The kid was really
Dylan
good.
Harper. Yep.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he
Is.
like kind of. I get he missed a couple of foul shots or whatever. But you can't put the loss on him. He played really well. He looks like he's going to be a player. And the other guy with the hairdo, what's his name?
Castle.
Yeah,
There's two of them. Both of them played well. I
yeah,
mean,
they both played
Dell
well.
was sniping. I mean,
Yeah,
what really killed them in the series was Mitch Johnson refusing to play Harper more than Fox. He kept putting Fox out there in these clutch time situations, and it worked for one game, but for the
right.
other three, he was a trash can. He
Yeah, he
made
was pretty. He
two of
was
the
he was
worst
not
plays
good.
in the series.
Yeah, he was not good.
I think they would have won that other game. He had his wide open fast break, and I'm like, this game's over. And then this doofus goes up with a layup, and then OG swats him, and then the rest is history. And the best part of all that, they're owed Fox like $300 million after this year. His contract extension didn't even kick in until next year. So that
Wow,
is gonna be
that is rough.
I mean, to be fair, he hurt his ankle before.
Hmm.
He's playing on a hurt ankle the whole series. So to
I mean,
like
I
put him
like him.
forward
He's a
like
good
this,
player. I like him.
he's been a
I
really
mean,
good
but
player
he
for
did
his whole
not play well.
career.
You're right. You're right.
But I mean, he's making a lot of money, but you can't really pin like they're not I don't think they trade him this offseason. I think they give him another year. But yeah, I
Well, he's
mean,
kind of untradeable.
yes and no. I mean, you don't know who like the Nets. You think the Nets wouldn't take on a guy like that in a
They might.
second?
They might. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, we'll do a show on the Nets, even though you're very fresh to them. We will do a show on the Nets, over the next few months. Just because, like, look, I always kind of had a soft spot for the Nets when they played in Jersey. I always kind of like when they came to Brooklyn. Not that I was going to root for them, but it was cool. Like we had a team in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. That's where I
I
grew
the
up.
first the
And
first Brooklyn Net team I
yeah,
love
well, I
Garnett,
didn't love
Paul
them, but
Pierce,
whatever. But then,
Joe
they got
Johnson.
Kyrie and KD, KD and Kyrie. And I love, look, you know me. I supported KD when he went to the Warriors. Everybody else was killing the guy. And I stood up for him and said, look, he wants to win. So, he didn't want to play in Oklahoma City anymore. He has the freedom to do it. Go play with the Warriors. Go play with, your boy, Steph Curry. Go there and win. Be a champion. I had no problem with that. But then when he went to all that, the Knicks, they're not cool. Ugh. So I was so glad that they never won with him. So glad. Now, what is he on? His ninth team now? Your buddy there?
My buddy.
KD?
We were just talking about how much you loved him, and he's my buddy.
Well, I don't like him anymore. When he pissed on the Knicks, oh, the Knicks aren't cool. I don't want to be the Knicks savior. Good. Good, because you know what? If we had gotten him, we would not be a champion right now.
Well,
Because he's not the same player. He's just not. Good.
we just changed history. I mean, all right, let's not act like Durant hasn't been a top 10 player for the past 5 years.
Right. Last year he was. The
The
year before, top
guy
10.
wakes the guy wakes up and he averages 28 a game.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
taking
but
all the shots.
he's one of the most efficient players
He's like your
ever.
buddy Mello, another
He,
guy.
Not even yeah. We're gonna have to end this episode before you just keep spewing nonsense,
Hey,
comparing.
everybody, look, just my opinion. It's just my
And it's
opinion.
you like this is wrong. You just be wrong after wrong after wrong.
Well,
Durant, Melo.
us old guys, we what do we know?
Are you comparing Durant to Melo?
Well, just guys you like that you think are good, that
Yeah.
take all the shots.
Yeah. Some of the best players in NBA history that I think are good. Two top 10 NBA scorers ever that I think are good.
Well,
NBA
look,
Hall of Famers that I think are good.
okay, all right. I'm not saying they're not great. I'm not saying, but like Melo was not a great Nick, so let's relax. Not a great Nick.
Not a great Nick. Nonsense. We wouldn't be here without Melo.
What?
If Melo doesn't come to New York, like what was New York before Melo came here? What were we win? Was it 20 games, 30
You
games?
know, you know what? You know what? The Knicks were actually playing well before Melo came here. They
They
actually
made
had
the
a nice
playoffs.
beginning of that
They didn't
season,
make the playoffs.
huh?
They didn't make the playoffs
Right, because when he came, they all of a sudden, when sanity was
before he
over, they
came.
couldn't do
Before he
anything.
came. The year after he got there, they won 55 games, tough guy, with a bunch of clowns. And then he carried them to a playoff series win with a bunch of clowns. And then he lost to a great Pacer team because it was just him. Nobody else on that team could average more than 10 a game. You name the second best player that played with Melo.
Stoudemire.
Yeah, he was hurt. He played maybe 20 games with Melo.
This is what goes on in our house every day, folks.
Like this Nick team compared to the Melo teams, it's not even on the
No,
same.
you're right. No question.
Melo was basically playing with this Knicks team's bench. That's the talent he
No,
was playing.
look.
They're good players, but
In all seriousness, um, at the end of the day, right? You know what this Nick team has done is really like you have to go back to their first championship, which was 69-70, where they had a team where, and again, the game is completely different, no 3 point, different era, different, setup. But they were facing a super team. That Laker team that they beat 69-70 was a super team. They had Wilt, they had Jerry West. I mean, that team was stacked. And for them to do what they did with a hobbled Willis Reed, with a great Clyde Frazier, with Dave DeBusschere, and all those guys, they complemented Bill Bradley. They complemented themselves, each other so well that as playing team ball, they were able to beat that super team, and they did it again 2 years later. So let's hope that this Knicks team, uh, in all seriousness, let's hope this Knicks team takes on that persona and they stay this, team oriented with a superstar in Jalen Brunson, who richly deserves all the receipts coming back, his way. That's the best part about all of this.
well, if they trade for your boy Giannis over there, they lose that. That's why you can't touch anything in that core. You
I'm just
can't, every
saying.
single yeah, you're just saying, but the whole you just made a whole speech how they gotta stay a team. So why would you go and trade for a
I'm not
superstar?
saying they should. I'm just saying Leon Rose might do something. I don't know.
Like, but why?
I don't
There's
know.
no point in making that statement when it's never gonna happen.
Because
Like,
I'm
the
a never
Knicks,
say never guy. That's why. I like to prepare myself for every eventuality.
not when it's nonsense. Like the way that you keep this team together with this mindset and this persona is by keeping the core together because all these guys, the second, third, fourth, fifth best player, they know that Brunson's the guy, and you got to play through Brunson, and you might have your night, but these guys, they are bought in on this team. They are bought in on New York.
Right. No, you're right. You're
You
right.
can't bring in some big old Greek dude from Milwaukee that you have no idea how he would mesh with this team. As
You're
great
right.
as he is, you have no clue, and you're gonna have to get rid of things to get him. To get any player all-star caliber or better, you're gonna have to trade one of these top six guys. And I do not I want any part of it. I want to
Okay.
keep, especially the starting lineup, even a guy like Bridges who struggled at times. I would rather him than like Derek White any day of the week. So some other role player that might be a little
Look,
cheaper or
you
might be a little
convinced me.
better on paper.
You convinced me.
No other guy is gonna, no other OG Anunoby or Bridges is gonna accept being the third, fourth option on any other team. They're just not. They're the level of player. They go to a different team, they're gonna want to be the number one or number two guy. But they built this. Leon Roses has built, and Mike Brown, they built this team to where every other night it could be, and even Brunson, the superstar that's gonna have the ball in his hands 95% of the time, he's not like, oh, I gotta have my 30 every night. I gotta have my 25 shots every night. Like he's the most team-oriented guy you can find out there. He's gonna be looking for his teammates. He's gonna be playing defense, even though everybody pisses on his defense. He works just like any other. He works as hard as any other point guard in the league on defense, and he's 6'1" or 2. I can't wait to see the future of this team. I
Me
think they,
too. Can't
I
wait.
think the Stiller documentary for this year will be great, and I think this team has the chance to go down as one of the, like we might be talking about the 2020 Knicks 10, 20 years from now, like we talked about the 90s.
No question. This is going to be like the '94 Rangers. Everybody talks about the '94 Rangers.
Well, I'm saying, we're definitely going to talk about the 2026 Knicks till the end of time. I'm saying the 2020 as a whole of a decade. Like they had 4 more
Oh
years.
yeah, no, the 2020s, yes, absolutely.
They could be that. Like, there's no for the 2020s. There's no team of the decade right now. There's been I think six different champions. So
Right.
the Knicks could be the team to take over the decade.
They could. They got to stay healthy and if they follow your blueprint, Jack, and they stay together and they,
But I mean,
you
it's
know,
it's been shown to like there have been some great teams to win this decade that haven't gotten back.
right? Nobody's won back to back. Yeah.
And the Thunder, they looked like they could have done it. I mean, the Bucks looked like a great built
Yep.
team when they won it, and then they fell off the face of the earth. And the Nuggets, they looked like one of the best built teams ever with Joker in his prime. They really haven't done anything the past few years.
Nope.
But this team they're built for this year and beyond. So I'm very excited to see what they do in the offseason. I mean, I'm going to be watching the highlights all offseason.
Again and
Football
again
in
and again.
general, it's
Just
beautiful to
awesome.
look at. It's beautiful
Just
to like
it is. It is. It's
all
amazing.
these fans just like complaining about nonsense and just I could just sit back and we won. Like I don't have to be all wound up about morons saying nonsense. Especially when it's like some Spurs fan or some net. Oh, the worst is the net fans. That's why
It
I'm
is.
so
Yeah.
harsh on the net fans
All 10 of
because
them.
they are so criminally dumb. Like they all throughout the playoffs, I'm seeing stuff like, about the Bridges trade and how, we gotta watch out for Igor Demin and what he has for the Knicks next year. Who? They got nothing for nobody.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great day. I mean,
It
the
is.
Gotham Sports Machine was here for the whole run, and
Yes, we were.
to see it come to fruition, especially after the tragedies of we have seen with our teams in the big stage, whether it be the Falcons or Notre Dame or the Mets, and all of them have
Notre
failed.
Dame, Notre Dame.
Yeah, yeah. Notre Dame most recently. I mean, even then, like Notre Dame had played a great national championship recently, but they lost. So who
Yeah.
cares? Nobody talks about that team anymore. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares when you lose, man.
They don't. They only care if you lose. If you lose so horribly and tragically, that's what they
Exactly, and you
care
don't
about.
want to be remembered like by that.
Like one of the first things I gotta see after the Knicks have one of the most historic comebacks in history is, oh, the Spurs is the Falcons logo. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly,
I gotta be
exactly.
reminded about that
Oh, terrible,
immediately after I watched greatness.
terrible.
But I mean, they did it. I gotta get my Knicks. I gotta get my Knicks finals merch. I gotta get a shirt, a jersey. I think I only gotta get a Towns jersey. Maybe a OG. Maybe gotta be OG after that.
All
And
right,
indeed,
buddy. Great
yeah,
show, pal.
another one. Another one. We'll see you guys next week. The Gotham Sports Machines on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. And we'll get you your New York sports.
See you next week.